Hey there, today we are tackling a severe question. Why was Mother Teresa considered worse than Hitler? It's tough, but we are here to explore the complexities surrounding Mother Teresa's legacy. But like so many of our heroes, Mother Teresa was not without controversy. The legacy of her charitable empire is forever linked to the decisions, relationships, and questionable motives that built it, proving once again that no one, not even a saint, is perfect. Even the Bible says, "For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God." Today we are going to look at Mother Teresa's dark side. Why was Mother Teresa considered worse than Hitler? Born in 1910 in Macedonia, later known as Mother Teresa, felt a strong spiritual connection to God from a young age. She joined the Sisters of Loreto at 18 and taught at St. Mary's High School in Kolkata from 1931 to 1948. She then founded the Missionaries of Charity in 1950 to serve the sick and dying, which became an international religious organization by 1965. Mother Teresa's order soon spread globally, creating centers to serve the disadvantaged, including the blind and elderly. What began as an order with only 12 followers, the Missionaries of Charity would eventually grow to about 5,600 members and hundreds of thousands of volunteers who helped run the missionaries' orphanages, schools, homeless shelters, health clinics, and homes for the sick and dying worldwide. Teresa also helped build a leper colony near Asansol, India, known as Shantinagar or the Town of Peace. In 1952, she founded a hospice for the terminally ill called Nimal Hridoy, which means place for the pure of heart. Mother Teresa received numerous awards, including the Nobel Peace Prize. She suffered a heart attack in 1989 and attempted to resign from her order, but was voted to stay. She left later due to her health and passed away in 1997. 2 years after her death, the process began to canonize her, officially recognizing her as a saint. She was canonized in 2016. But despite the posthumous adoration from the Church, Mother Teresa was not without her controversies. According to an academic Canadian study, Mother Teresa had a rather dubious way of caring for the sick, questionable political conduct, and suspicious management of enormous sums of money she received. In addition, there are allegedly multiple accounts that she would baptize the dying without their consent. Some earlier, more well-known criticism of Mother Teresa came from a 1994 documentary, Hell's Angel. The documentary, which received significant funding from Rupen Chattopadhyay, a former worker at one of Mother Teresa's homes, included criticism of the sanitation of her missionaries, which Chattopadhyay compared to a Nazi concentration camp. According to a volunteer from one of Teresa's hospices, Mother Teresa ignored many standard sanitation protocols, including not boiling water at realizing it, and using needles repeatedly rather than sanitary disposing of them. When asked why they would not fix the water used to wash the needles, she reportedly responded, "There is no point." This fits into the claim from the Hellish Angel that Teresa takes advantage of the poor and terminally ill for opportunities to showcase compassion rather than a desire to help care for them. These claims are supported by similar reports from Hemley Gonzalez, who had also volunteered at one of Teresa's hospices. He claims to have noticed that the volunteers were not vetted, trained, or required to have medical experience, going as far as saying that nobody there was a medically trained physician or nurse. He witnessed nuns reusing needles after only washing them in tap water. He saw nuns wash clothes covered in urine and feces right next to silverware. He even offered to install a water heater because he observed patients bathing in freezing water or other services to improve overall conditions. But the nuns told him, "We don't do that here. This is the way Jesus wants it." These conditions were not for lack of funding. Mother Teresa donated roughly $30 million a year, yet very little of that cash improved the quality of care across her hospices. A senior nun at her order reported nuns were reusing needles despite the vast sum of money in the bank. Hellis Angel host, known as Christopher Hitchens, was later quoted in the New York Times as saying that Mother Teresa was less interested in helping the poor than using them as an indefatigable source of wretchedness on which to fuel the expansion of her fundamentalist Roman Catholic beliefs. Teresa supposedly would even tell patients that there is righteousness in pain rather than attempting to help treat the pain, supporting the reputation. She earned that she would glorify human suffering rather than try and treat it. Reporter Donald McIntyre went undercover at one of Mother Teresa's homes in a report titled Mother Teresa's Legacy. In it, he witnessed many people tied like animals. He saw a boy rock back and forth with his ankle tethered to a cord. He overheard some volunteers laughing about a boy who had peed on a volunteer because he was tied to his bed. He also claimed to see an older, disturbed woman tied to a tree and babies tied up with clothes during feeding time. According to the report, the volunteers were too intoxicated with the meat of Mother Teresa and drunk on their philanthropy to see that such treatment of children was inhuman and degrading. On top of the criticism of her quality of medical care, Mother Teresa also kept friends with various questionable people, acting as a mascot for the Catholic Church. Teresa traveled all over the world, including Lebanon, where the right-wing Catholic militia mass murdered people at the Sabra and Shatila refugee camps. She was awarded the Medal of Freedom from Ronald Reagan, who at the same time he was celebrating Mass had proxies murder 4 American nuns and the Catholic Archbishop of San Salvador. She worked with Robert Maxwell, a media proprietor who had the descriptor of a ruthless tycoon and bully. She was friendly with Charles Keating, another business tycoon involved in what was considered the most significant financial scandal in the 80s. She took money from all these questionable people, and if confronted with evidence that donations made to her order were made with stolen money, she did not return any of it. Even her path to sainthood was met with controversy and scandal. To become a saint, a person must have performed 2 miracles approved by the Pope. The first miracle was the curing of Monica Besra, who claimed that praying to Mother Teresa cured her of cancer. Some critics believe that Besra's tumor was a benign cyst from tuberculosis. The whole time of that, the medical treatment she had done was the true miracle of the story. According to Time, Besra's husband even stated and later retracted that he believes the doctors made his wife better, not Teresa. The second recorded miracle that the church claims occurred in 2008, when a man in Brazil stated that his wife praying to Mother Teresa cured his brain infection. The Catholic Church approved this miracle and officially canonized her in 2016. On paper, Mother Teresa has done a lot of good for the world. Schools, orphanages, and hospices should objectively make the world a better place. But in practical, it appears that her altruistic actions were more for show than good and were meant to relieve the white Western world of its guilt, a way for rich and powerful countries to pat themselves on the back for being able to have a representative from their world save people in poorer parts of the world. The dark side of Mother Teresa is not that she was an evil figure whose ulterior motive was to cause harm and destruction, but that her image, her public persona, was that of what writer B.J. Prashad would define as white women in the colonies working to save the dark bodies from their temptations and failures. As we wrap up our exploration of why Mother Teresa is considered worse than Hitler, I want to hear your take. What do you think? Please leave your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. Remember to hit that subscribe button for more intriguing discussions. Until next time, keep questioning and stay curious.